Alright, today we are going to be ranking everything on Plant Island. And when I say everything, I mean everything. We're going to be ranking the monsters, the obstacles, anything you can name on Plant Island, we're ranking it. To coincide with the release of this video, I'm going to post a poll to see what island we should rank next. So go check that out if you haven't already. Enough talking, let's get into the rankings. So as I did in the last video, we should probably do some clarification on what all these tiers mean. Alright, I got the tiers ready. We got S, best of the best. We're keeping it from last video. I feel like it made sense. We got A, which is going to be classic. Makes sense for Plant Island. This is the first island you get, so like, they're all going to be classics in some regard. We got B, which is pretty nice. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. C are monsters that I think are just solid, very middle of the road. D is meh. I mean, they're fine. Like, I can't really complain, but I don't care for them all that much on this island. F, we're bringing back Poop tier. Just makes sense. And then I had the last tier here to hold monsters because I don't want to go through this whole tier list. I just want to drag them from one area, so let's just do that. Now that we got all of our monsters placed, let's start ranking some things. For the castle base, I'm thinking a C tier. I mean, it's pretty fine. Don't really have any big gripes with it. I think it's fine. Noggin, we're gonna give a pretty nice because when it's all said and done, you can't really hear it all that much in the full song. But again, it is the first thing you experience in the game, so if you don't get asked to be kind of special, I can't give it anything lower than a B. Mammoth, I'm gonna rank this and Toejammer at the same time because their call and response really just makes Plant Island. Like, you don't have a Plant Island without a Mammoth and a Toejammer. Like, I feel like these have to be classic. It makes sense. Potbelly, I feel like is a B tier, honestly. I mean, like, I know it's his island, but he doesn't really shine as much as some other monsters do. Like, I feel like you get more Mammoth and Toejammer than you do Potbelly, so I feel like it makes sense that he'd be in like a B tier. Drumpler, gotta be harsh because it's Plant Island. We're gonna give him a meh. I think he does some good stuff on other islands, but this one, he has a good core with some other monsters on this island, but it's like not really a ton going on. Alright, well, Fwog has to be. It has to be an S on this island, dude. I know I love Fwog, I know I'm biased, sue me for it, but he has to be an S, right? Like, when Mammoth and Toejammer are done, you get his wows at the end, it's amazing. Plant Island is why I like Fwog, so he has to be an S tier. Maw, I feel like, is gonna get like, let's give him an A tier. I feel like he deserves it. He's pretty funny. Whenever people think of My Singing Monster, like in memes, they always think of like Plant Island Maw. I don't know why, I couldn't tell you, but that's like typically what happens. Shrub, I'm thinking like a C tier. The intro, he makes the intro, he really helps out. Him and Punkleton really just kind of eat in the intro, so like, you gotta have him at a C tier. He doesn't do anything that's like mind-blowing, but you'll always remember him. Ooh, Furcorn. Okay. Well, let's give him an S. When you think Plant Island, you think of these two. I know I've said this a ton. You think of Mammoth and Toejammer, but you also think of Furcorn. His voice sounds beautiful here. You love every time he sings. It's great. It's a fun time. You enjoy it, so we gotta put him in S. Octopus. Okay, this is tough for me. I'm thinking maybe like I'm thinking I might give him a B. I feel like he's better than all of these guys. I can't give him anything lower and feel good about it. Sugarbush. Wow. Octopus is one of these weird monsters that like you don't really think too much about, but on every single island they're on, they're just heat. I feel like this is a B is a good place for him on Plant. T-Rox. This is your first big percussion you'll unlock. I have to give him an S for that. Not only do I love his design, but I love his sound on Plant. I feel like you can get rid of Drumpler and you're not going to be missing all that much, but if you get rid of T-Rox, you're just not having a fun time. Clamble, I think I'm gonna give... No, it's a C, dude. I feel like Clamble doesn't do all that much. Its cymbal swell is like, I feel like the biggest thing you get. But if you remove it, you're losing some like atmosphere, I feel. So I feel like I have to give Clamble a C here. It just works. Pummel, as much as I don't want to do this, I'm gonna give it a D. I'd say it's like Drumpler, Pummel, and Clamble. Those are like the big three that kind of make up like the drum set core. Granted, T-Rox does all of that on this island and just makes it sound better, but I'm not one to judge. I feel like Pummel does some good stuff. I love how it sounds. It really just kind of builds up the song, but again, yeah, it's not all that needed. If you removed it, you'd be like, well, I mean, Pummel's gone, but it's my day is the same. Bogart, okay, well, I have to give Bogart an S. This is probably one of the best actual sounds on Plant Island. I know I'm biased with Fwog, but every single person on this earth can admit that Bogart has an amazing sound. He really just kind of carries the song on its back. He has so many good tracks. You can't give him anything lower than an S. Man, what were they thinking when they made Plant Island? Actually, you know what? This is for you, Dave. What was Dave thinking when he was making Plant Island and he was like, you know what this needs? A really bad vocal. I'll admit, it's not like inherently bad. It's just not for me. I don't love it on this island. I don't think it really sounds good anywhere, but I mean, like, I can't give Brett anything good. It was made for the poop tier for Plant Island. Punkleton, I think I have to give an A on this island. It makes the intro again. Him and Shrub really just do a lot. It's more special when you unlock him as well because he's a seasonal, so he's not there all the time. So when you get him, he really enhances the intro. He makes it sound better. I mean, I think he has to get an A for that, right? Okay, another S tier here, Gas. Like, you can't do anything about that. Its sound is just so beautiful. As your introduction to ethereals in the game, I think it's the perfect start. It sounds amazing. You can have the full song without gas, but when you get gas, there's no going back. You'll love it. You'll love it. Sugar Bush. This is a very interesting one to me. I think I'm going to give it an A tier because, again, you're not really thinking Sugar Bush when you're listening to Plant Island, but if you remove it, you're going to notice a big lack of flavor. I think it's very cool that this is a Christian Bush collab. I think that's fun. I also really like that. Yeah. I always look forward to when he does it. I'm a big Sugar Bush guy. I'll admit it. I think he's fun. I like it. Plant Island Wubbox. I feel like this is the best case of a Wubbox in any song. I think we're gonna give it an A tier. I think it should go there. This song, even though it's not made for like a big techno dubstep kind of thing, I feel like it works here, which is odd. I feel like Wubbox doesn't work well on a lot of other islands, really any other island. But on this, I feel like it's not overwhelming. It's fun. It's in your face, but it's not too much. I like it. I really do. Rare Wubbox. Oh, this is tough because I feel like Rare Wubbox is definitely above regular Wubbox, but I don't feel comfortable giving it an S. I think I'll just keep it an A. I feel like an A is a good thing for it. I'm a very big fan of Rare Wubbox. I think it doesn't do all that much on Plant Island. Oh, as I say that, it doesn't do very much on Plant Island. I think it has to be a B then. I really like its voice, but again, it just doesn't do all that much. Now, this is where I start having a problem. What are we doing with Epic Wubbox here? We don't need it. We really don't. I feel like it's better than most other Epic Wubboxes because it's not like too in your face. It gives a nice like earthy feel to Plant Island, but again, you don't really need all this excess sound. Like I feel like it sounds fine, but I wouldn't be upset if they got rid of it. Ooh, Gajoob. I'm a pretty big Gajoob guy. I feel like this has to go in A. I enjoy that it was like a PS Vita exclusive. He wasn't on the island for a long time. When he was unlockable, it was like Christmas. It was amazing. Actually, when was he unlockable? Okay, admittedly not Christmas, but it's close enough. His sound just sounds amazing, individual in the song. I feel like you kind of need it. Dipsters, this is going to be controversial. I think Dipsters on this island are an A tier. I don't know what to say. I feel like this is an island where Dipsters really shine. Like, a lot of people say that the big part about Dipsters that you don't like is that it doesn't add anything. Like, if you get rid of it and you add it back in, it doesn't really make the song better. The Dipsters really make this island come alive. Like, I feel like especially in, like, the Everything Here's Alive verse, it really helps it out. The intro is just beautiful. I really like the intro with the Dipsters. I'll admit it. The only issue that I have is that I don't like the pink Dipster. I'm gonna tell you why. So when the Dipsters started coming out and I first started unlocking them, I think I got the blue one and the red one to start because I thought those had the best designs, and I was like, okay, where do I want to go from here? Because it's starting to make a nice sound. I like it. And I only had 3 keys at the time, so I was like, all right, I'll buy 3 and then I'll make some other accounts and then I'll send myself some keys. I was like, all right, T, that looks cute. I like the pink. I think that's fun. I placed it down. It played like 1 time, and I'm mad at it for that. It wasted a key. I have like 80 keys now, so it's not really an issue. But I don't know. That thing, I'm holding a grudge against T. I just don't like it. It's one of the only ones I remember the name of by design. I know what all the names are. I just have beef with this thing. I don't like it. Round out the poop tier, we're gonna end it off with the Colossi. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this. The announcement, when they were like, here we go, here's our big announcement, the Colossals. I was like, dude, this is awesome. I wonder what it sounds like. We had to wait 30 days to unlock this thing, and it was one of the worst sounds I've ever heard in my entire life. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't add anything. It's like if Meepkin on Ethereal Workshop just sucked. The eyes weren't worth it. The rewards aren't that good. Now I have a bunch of like natural monsters that I can get for free, but I don't need them for free because I completed the island. You're probably gonna complete Plant Island in 30 days anyway, so you don't really need any of these. I have beef with the Colossi. I'll admit it. I don't like it. It sounds bad. I also don't like how you cannot adjust it. Now, ending off the monsters, we have Talker and we have Parlsona. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rank them both at C tier. I feel like, again, you don't need them to have a good song, but like, they don't make the song worse. I think they sound good. The lyrics are fine. Like, I don't have any gripes against the lyrics, but I mean, they're just not like, they're not top tier for me. They were also extremely hard to get before Amber Island, at least for me. Like, I wasn't a big like spin wheel guy. When I got a relic, it was like my birthday. I was celebrating, and it took me a while to get to 100. And then the sales come out, and then you feel bad for spending 100. Next up, we got some other stuff to rank about Plant Island. So first up, we're gonna rank the critter. I think this is a nice B tier critter. Oh, I didn't move it. I think this is a nice B tier critter. I like that it shows up on Sugarbush Island and Octopus Head, so we're gonna put them next to each other because that's cute. I really have no gripes with this critter. I think it's cute. I like it a lot. So island design, I feel like I'm going to give this island, I think we're gonna give it a B tier. They've definitely improved on island design since the original couple islands, but I feel like this one works well. It is Plant Island. It's an island of plants. I think the colossal eye looks cool, even though it doesn't sound any good. I don't know. I feel like the general normal island design looks good. I'm a fan of it. I like it. Next up, we got Spooktacle. So I am going to rank this as just a seasonal holiday. I think I'm going to give it a C. It's a solid thing. The island doesn't change all that much. I feel like the Spooktacle decorations look fine. Nothing crazy. And I feel like Punkleton, he's a good, Punkleton's a good seasonal. I think he works very well with Spooktacle, obviously. But I feel like he's an A, and the rest of Spooktacle is kind of down there. I feel like the costume aspect of Spooktacle was super fun until they gave costumes to every single monster. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like it kind of fell off a little bit, but I think it's still fun. Alright, the Island Skin, Vegetable Medley, we're going to give a D tier. It just looks worse than both Spooktacle and the normal Plant Island, and it is stupid expensive. I don't have it because I just don't want to shell out all that money. I feel like the boosts are a nice thing, but it doesn't really do all that much for you, so I'm not really a fan of the Island Skin. I also am not sure if you can see the Colossal Eyes with it on, so that also might be a downside. The Crystalline Castle for Plant Island, I think, deserves a C tier. No huge opinions on it really. I feel like it looks fine. I got no gripes with it. I like that they brought back the crystals from Dawn of Fire. I think that was a fun idea. Again, it just doesn't really stick with me all that much. I don't feel like you need this many beds if you're playing normally. It's definitely helpful, I will admit, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Alright, the obstacles. I think we are going to give the tree a C tier. It's a tree. Nothing big to say. It's classic. It's a tree. What do you want me to say about it? I'm going to give the rock, however, a B tier, because I think I feel like it's rendered nice. Like, anytime you think of Plant Island obstacles, I think of this rock. Gives me good memories. It's a rock. Then we have the Star Rock. I think for this island, we're going to give a B tier. It encapsulates Plant Island pretty well. I don't really have any gripes with it. Nice green color that matches Plant Island. I think it's cool. This is the first Star Rock I unlocked. Although I'm not a big fan of the star power mechanic, I feel like this works well. So I'm going to give it a B tier. Finally, the Plant Island word art, we are going to give a C tier. I think it's some good word art. I got no gripes with it. Gives Plant Island pretty well. There's just better word arts out there. So I think a C tier suits it well. I think that's what we're gonna end the list off with. After getting rid of the holding tier, this is what the tier list is gonna look like. I feel like I got some good picks up here. Nothing too controversial. Poop tiers make sense. S tiers make sense. Maybe not Fwog and S tier, but I like Fwog. You can fight me on that. I love Fwog. We didn't really have to go to any individuals. I know them all super well. I feel like everyone else knows them super well. If you guys want me to add those into another tier list, if you're not super familiar, let me know. I'll totally do that. But we have one last thing that we're going to do before we end off this tier list. To end off our ranking of Plant Island, we're going to rank it among every other island. We're going to be doing this at the end of every video where we rank each island individually. So we're going to start off with Plant, and then we'll eventually fill up this tier list by the end of the last video. I think we need to add an F tier. I don't know if there's going to be any F islands, or let's do it just in case. So if you want to name the letters to get a better idea of what each tier means, we can discuss that in the comments of this video. But I feel like Plant Island at this point deserves an A tier. It's classic. It sounds good. I feel like not a lot of monsters really sound bad on this island. Like if we go back to this tier list, like these monsters truthfully don't even sound that bad. I feel like Entbrat's really the only. I feel like Entbrat and the Colossal and maybe Epic Wellbox are the only ones that I truly dislike on this island. Everything else just sounds good. It works together. It definitely gives Plant Island, so I feel like it deserves an A tier on the overall islands tier list. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. You can talk about it in the comments. I'm down to discuss a little bit. Remember to check out the poll on my channel to vote on the next island that we rank, and I think this is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, just have to save this. What the